Hey guys, Technomentary here with the video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to review iOS 15.3, which is the latest version that you can get on the iPhone 10 here, and talk about the top features of iOS 15, talk about battery life, talk about performance, and finally answer the big question whether or not you should upgrade your iPhone 10 to iOS 15. So stay tuned. So let's talk about the iPhone 10. So iPhone 10 was sort of revolutionary in a lot of sense because it's the first time that Apple introduced the all-screen body displayed iPhone with OLED. Now, the other thing about this phone is that it's the first time that we saw iPhone start at that almost $1,000 price tag, but it did come with a lot of promise. So if you haven't thought about the iPhone 10 here, actually was released back in 2017. Now it's been a little over 4 years, and later this year it's going to be almost 5 years since that phone has been around. It's one of our favorite phones because of its original design, which sort of paved the way for some of the newer phones here. It's a lightweight phone, really small and easy to handle. It's unique in a lot of ways, and if you still have this phone, it is definitely a great device even in 2022. Now let's talk about some of the top features of iOS 15 if you upgraded. And if you haven't upgraded, you can simply upgrade it by simply going to settings, general, software update. You'll see the update here. If it's not available here, you can also do it through iTunes. So the upgrade process takes about somewhere between 30 to 40 minutes depending on your Wi-Fi connection. Your experience might vary depending on how slow or fast your Wi-Fi is. You might be able to even get it done in 15-20 minutes, but do expect the update to take some time. But once you're upgraded, you're ready to go and you can start taking advantage of the features. The first feature is going to be focus mode. So in the past, it just used to be do not disturb, but with iOS 15, what Apple has done is it's created these filters for you to be able to filter out notification, signal your friend based on your availability and the preference of your focus that you select. By default, you have things like personal, which allows you to filter out personal notification, work, so only certain apps and work related can signal you or notify you, and then sleep, of course, limited to only important stuff. Now you can also customize your own focus, like a driving mode, maybe a gym mode, whatever may be the case. You can also do a lot of that. So it's a unique feature that you might want to go ahead and explore. Now another big feature upgrade that Apple has done, it's around FaceTime. So as you know, FaceTime has been iconic in terms of Apple devices. In the past, you were just simply able to FaceTime friends and family that had an Apple device. Now Apple has expanded that and opened up the gate to allow you to be able to FaceTime call anyone by simply sending a link, whether they have an Android or a Windows device. As long as they have internet connection and a browser, they can now video chat you, so you can simply FaceTime anyone in your contact once you send that invite over. Along with those are updates to things like spatial audio and a natural video for your FaceTime call. So Apple has really thought of this because as we are in the midst of this pandemic, as you know here, video chat has been a big thing, and Apple has stepped up and made that a priority. Other updates, you'll probably notice it's going to be updates to things like the Safari application, where you notice here browser now has gone down here, where you can simply allow you to also create tab groups. So if you're a person that have a bunch of tabs, you can create groups of tabs which allow you to kind of focus on certain things and not close all of your tabs that you might have had opened up. Also, other noticeable or important probably feature that you want to probably take advantage of, it's going to be around your camera as well. So if you haven't noticed here on the camera here, you'll see some updates, especially when it comes to doing things like photography. There's been slight improvement in terms of the software itself in there. Now you also notice other updates around Translate app. So Apple introduced a Translate application which allows you to pretty much have a side-by-side conversation view, auto translate for you, and then do a system-wide translation as well. Now this is really cool because if you're a person that travels a lot and want to be able to translate between different languages, and this is where this app really does come in handy. Also, there's also other updates around bunch of other applications such as weather application. If you open up weather, you notice here now you have these widgets that allow you to see certain things like sunrise, sunset, participation. You can also see humidity, pressure, things like that. You also notice on the map itself, you'll notice temperature and heat maps. And you also notice things like whenever it's raining. You can also get the weather app to simply notify you whenever it rains or snows or some sort of precipitation that falls, so that you're aware ahead of time. You can also let you know when it stops, so you can plan ahead in your day. You also see updates around the map applications. There's been updates around the interactive globe mode, walking directions to major cities, and simply these guides that you can allow you to simply, if you travel a lot, you probably find that really helpful. Now, there's also updates to the health application, which not a lot of people utilize, but now you can actually have your iPhone sort of monitor trends for things like your heart rate, your respiratory systems, your things like just simply your natural things that you might not notice, and that kind of alerts you to be able to go in for a diagnosis if you need to. Of course, not to say that you should replace the health app without, but you should still go to a doctor. So that's another feature that you want to take advantage of. Also, there's been updates around other things, minor things like being able to drag and drop pictures. You can also do a bunch more stuff with iOS 15. Now, the big question is, how has the battery life been on iOS 15 on the iPhone 10? So the iPhone 10 here does have a decent sized battery. It's just a little over 2700 mAh, which gives us about 13 hours of video playback compared to the iPhone 13 Pro, which gives you around 22 hours of video playback. Not bad for our iPhone 10 here. As you can see here, this phone's been around. We used it here and there for demos and other purposes, and over time it went down from 100 to 88%, which isn't bad, and that's pretty much good for a phone that's been around for 4 years or so. Apple generally recommends when it goes lower than 80%, you do need to recommend it. So battery health wise, it's been stable. Battery performance in terms of draining, it doesn't drain the battery or anything like that. So if you're worried that it will drain you out your battery, that's not the case on the latest iOS 15 version. And finally, performance wise, so as you see here, we opened a bunch of application here. The iPhone 10 does come with that A11 Bionic chip with about 3 gigs of RAM. So under the cover, you're actually able to multitask, do a lot of things that you would do on iPhone 13 or any of the newer phones. And a lot has changed in terms of performance of this phone that you would notice. So performance wise on iOS 15, applications have been stable. There hasn't been any issues where we've seen any sort of app crashes or anything like that. Again, it's a big concern, especially when you upgrade to a major version. So if you're concerned about any sort of issues, all of your major popular applications work fine, from your social media application to your video streaming applications to simply gaming application. We have seen that all of the applications so far, the ones that we use, that most people use, have been stable so far. But we want to hear from you guys. If you had any issue, leave a comment in the comment section. And finally, answer the question, is upgrading to iOS 15 worth it for the iPhone 10? Considering the iPhone 10 here has been around for some time, and later this year iOS 16 is going to come out. If you haven't upgraded to iOS 15, we do recommend going ahead and upgrading, although you can still stay on iOS 15 and simply not use some of the features that come out with the iOS 15. But if you were looking to upgrade, we simply say you can upgrade because we haven't seen any issues in terms of battery performance and just general usage of it. But again, we want to hear from you guys. If you guys upgraded or had experience with iOS 15 on your iPhone 10, leave a comment in the comment section. And if you guys found this video helpful, please make sure that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.